Hello and welcome to Perilous Pursuits, a live D&D podcast where a bunch of us nerdy-ass friends sit around a Zoom call and play D&D. Tonight we follow a fledgling group heading north into Icewind Dale. Warning, some content may not be suitable for all audiences. So, as I guess we'll all figure out slowly, this is kind of a session 0. Kind of want your characters to meet each other, to maybe be a little more comfortable. Mike, stop bugging your eyes out. It's your square center right below me. I just want you guys to feel comfortable. We will do maybe a little bit of D&D tonight and more just get to know each other in this world. So, for the premise of this place, weeks are 10 days long, and it's called the 10-day cycle. There's also 3 10 days in 1 month, and there's 12 months in a year. So all of you would probably know a little bit about Icewind Dale. You would know that it is way up north, way north of Luskan. I know that Bray's character would know a little bit more potentially about Icewind Dale than the other group. Gord's character would know probably the least. And Mike's and Jason's and Spencer's will be somewhere in between. We find, I guess we will start with a few characters. We will start with Ponto, Maximus, and Quincy traveling together in a caravan, heading north from Luskan, slowly over the dirt roads, as they are being told by Metha and Aaron, Fordai, 2 dwarvish caravan holders in a cart that has been magically heated for the convenience of your trip to Icewind Dale.
Can we pull over?
No. Hey, can we pull over? The bladder kind of full.
Quincy, it's just honestly, it's been like 10 minutes since you've last peed. Come on, man. I know you're like as old as my grandfather, and that guy is really old. But please get it together and just like either pee in the bucket we told you to, or just hold it in.
Yeah, but the last time I did that, my aim wasn't so good, and I peed all over your leg.
The curtain will close, and the cart will continue forward down the path, because at this point, it is you 3 in the back. In the caravan.
To get further away from the bucket.
The bucket is in the back left corner, we'll call it. And the cart will continue slowly down the path. Each day, as you guys go north, will progressively get colder. Unbeknownst to Quincy, for some reason, he still thinks, and he's told you guys, because this is over many days you've been traveling together, that he progressively thinks he's still going to Chult, even though you've all told him you're heading north. He's still convinced and still tries to convince the caravan owners that they're heading to Chult. By about the 3rd or 4th day, snow starts to fall on the ground, not quite holding up the speed of the progress, but you get to the point where Quincy actually starts to think, am I actually going north? Maybe at this point, Quincy, Maximus, and Ponto might need to have a conversation together just to see if they can set him straight. Because Quincy's kids sent him on this vacation. So Maximus and Ponto, from your perspective, Quincy is batshit crazy. He is the oldest old person you have ever met. Maybe Ponto, your great-grandfather, might have been slightly crazier, but by like a shade. Maximus, you have never seen somebody this old in your lifetime. And it's a wonder he's going north with you, knowing the fact that you guys chose to go north. And Quincy thinks he's going for summer vacation. In fact, he has showed you his book of stuff he's got to do. So like day 2, jungle ride in the beach. Day 3, find a hut because I've hurt myself from walking on the beach. Day 4, still hurt myself from walking on the beach. Day 5, hang myself from tree to stretch back. Day 6, don't jump up and close that container up top there. That's for young people. Things like that. So, Maximus and Ponto, I just want to allow a little bit of a conversation for you to, I don't know, maybe clarify again for the umpteenth time to Quincy that you guys are headed north.
Hey, this guy is like batshit crazy, hey.
Batman?
Batman?
Sorry, excuse me. This old guy thinks we're going to Chult? What's his deal?
Man, they took the longest road. Why would they go north first? Must have been a cheap. My kids are so fucking cheap, man. Get the cheapest boat ride, I bet.
I don't think they're sending you on the trip that you expect you're going on.
Well, it was prearranged.
I hate to disappoint you, but anytime you spend at the beach, you're going to be very, very uncomfortable.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna get an umbrella for the sun. Yeah, I want to get one of those drinks with the little umbrellas.
We probably get you the drink, but I don't think you're going to need an umbrella for the sun. You're going to be way too cold at the beach. This isn't really a beach trip, Quincy.
Why would it be cold at the beach?
We're going north. We're not circumnavigating till we hit south. We're just going to where it's going to be cold.
I think you're confused. You sound like my grandmother.
Check what it says on your ticket. Where's the destination on your ticket?
I don't know. I can't read it. So they printed it like a 2-point font, I think. I don't know. It may be written in some other weird Orcish or something. I don't know.
Well, you're here on the caravan with us, and we're all going to the same place.
Yeah. Where?
From the front of the caravan, Aaron hears the conversation turning point, and you see him like swing his head and he says, "Guys, honestly, in like half a day, we'll kind of almost halfway to the point where we're coming into, call it the valley, the area of Icewind Dale, and you guys are going to need to start to bundle up, even in this lovely heated caravan that my wife keeps for you guys. Honestly, it's so nice in here. You guys, you don't want to be outside. It's just getting blisteringly cold right now." And as the day progresses on, you have something to say there, Max?
I'm just going to stay in the cabin, or in the caravan.
As the day goes on, we're going to pass over to Ray's character and Gord's character, Zoko and Smoke. An unusual alliance has kind of fused you two together through happenstance or sheer luck, one might say. Smoke, you have been traveling for months and I mean months. You have come from far south, farther south than Chult, like in the lands of your own people. You have been led by your own notion of how to best lead your people and to create a trophy for your names to come back to your own people with leadership and privileges and responsibilities. On your travels, you have met Zoko. We're going to go into maybe describing your guys' characters now. Zoko, if you'd like to start, and then we'll go to Smoke.
Sure. Zoko is a massive blue-skinned half-giant character with huge white beard and scraggly white hair, and he wears the leather armor, detailed white leather armor, and big white horns on his helmet. 4 giant white horns that look like the horns of... They look like pork rinds, actually, in the image. And he's wearing a prized possession of his is a giant cloak made of yeti fur that is very important to him. And also on his hip he has a horn made out of a yeti, natural yeti horn. Those are his 2 most prized possessions. He carries
And
also
Smoke.
So Smoke is a Leonin. He is half man, half lion. He has kind of a grayish skin and a lighter gray mane, blue eyes. He's pretty strong and muscular. Not overly so, but his muscles look, well worn from hunting, and it's not a fancy looking muscular body. It's a well worn hunting type of a body. Seen lots of sun. Not comfortable as the cold has gotten as he's gone north. It's getting colder, and I'm hoping that in Luskin maybe he's had a chance to pick up some winter clothes.
Yeah, you all have been given the opportunity to purchase clothes except for Quincy.
And Smoke is not used to wearing, he wears kind of a loincloth almost, and he's not used to wearing a heavy jacket. He feels constricted. He's just kind of complaining. Zoko, I'm not used to these things. Do you wear these all the time?
This is a harsh land. You must be strong.
Yeah, I don't.
You can see that on Zoko, he doesn't have nearly the amount of clothing on as you do, Smoke. He is, in bare minimum, it looks like it's almost warm out to him.
It's nice day.
I don't know how you do it.
Be stronger. Strong will.
And you guys can hear often in the distance this cart that Zoko is coming up this path. Because you have traveled these lands over and over again, and you have caught this cart, and these 2 people. And they always say, oh, you're just heading up north, probably like a half mile, maybe a day or 2 up, and then you shoot off back to where your people are coming. But this time you feel drawn to go into Icewind Dale proper and not just stay on the mountain range back with your people. You are full force driven on going into Icewind Dale this time, which is not normal for you. So as the caravan that you many times have seen come up the hills and over the hills, and that you're probably within a day, maybe 2 on the outside of them catching up with you. And a half day goes by, and you stop and you swear, those are the tracks of the wagon. Yeah, I can hear it coming. And you turn around and You can see like the little speck on the horizon of it slowly cresting and coming down, following the path that you and Smoke are going down. And you tell Smoke that, like, oh, just, in maybe next day or maybe by night's camp tonight, like we're gonna meet up with this caravan and they'll give me a ride and maybe I can swing something for you. They usually just let me off like a day up, and we're gonna catch a ride into Icewind Dale. And maybe at this point, you and Zoko and Smoke would like to have a conversation about maybe how much Smoke's gonna have to bundle up, because like if he thinks this is cold, we're not even in Icewind Dale yet. It's not even like blowing snow. It's not Prince George yet. We're like in Kelowna. It's cold, but it ain't that cold.
Oh, Smoke, it's no big deal. You're going to enjoy the cold. It makes you strong.
It's gonna get colder.
Yeah, this is nothing at all. This is a summer's day.
It's a little
You're gonna
shiver.
love it. It will make your bones stronger and your muscles bigger. You'll become one of my people soon.
Well, at least the color of my skin matches the snow out there, but I'll be made of ice here soon.
Ah, it's good for you. You might be, when the wagon catches up, you'll run alongside us to keep warm while I sit down.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, you can protect them.
And
I'll have a whiskey.
You should come up to our plateau there, the Rihanna Pride, and you should come run and hunt with us in the nice hot sun there. That is real weather. That is where you.
I'm not sure I can handle that. I've been here my whole life. I don't think I could go south.
I could lend you a little loincloth and you could see what's under all those furs.
Well, you're the one wearing all the fur there, friend. I'm hardly wearing anything at all. Just my armor to protect myself in the harsh lands.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the day, the sun is setting. It is obviously, the temperature is plummeting back into the negatives. It's maybe -5. It's not crazy cold. It's cold enough to know that you're going north. It's not getting very warm in the day. It's like a high of 5 degrees, getting down to lows of -5 on average.
That's Celsius for our American friends.
Yes, it's all in Celsius. I apologize. So as you guys are walking and plodding, you can hear the cart is coming closer and closer and closer, and you guys are just walking on, knowing that the two dwarfs at the front, Metha and Aaron, will stop for Zoko, and they will obviously say, as the caravan comes up, they'll go like, Metha, oh, that is Zoko, and he'll rub his eyes. Zoko's with someone? Oh, that's strange. Usually we just see him alone on these roads. And again, he's not wearing anything, that guy. Huge man, but my goodness. At least he could put a jacket on. He's just got like this hat of fur and nothing else. It's just leathers and that's it. He just walks. And that guy beside him, he looks like he's dancing. It's so cold. I can't quite make out. And you guys hear the conversation coming up, and they'll call out.
Can we look out?
Yeah, I mean, you can hear Metha and Aaron talking in the front. It's like there is a drape that falls down that's heavy and thick, but I mean, it's not blocking any sound. Any conversation of that is at the front of the vehicle that is not whispered. You can go ahead and hear.
Can we see out though? Can we?
You can't see out. You can, however, just like open the cloth and like look between the two drivers going forward.
All right.
So as the cart pulls up, Zoko, you'll hear them talking, and they'll say, "Zoko, it's just me, Metha, and Aaron. I'm. Do you need a ride again? I know it's like usually you protect us a bit as we're going through, and we're appreciative, so that like we kind of like it's no charge, it's fine. But don't really see you with anyone. Do you know who this guy is?
Hey, Quincy. It's been a couple hours. Do you have to take a leak again? You could go to the bucket that's in the back, right by that door over there.
And you'll feel kind of like the cart kind of halt and kind of like shake a bit.
We're not moving. This would be the perfect time.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk over to the door. I'm freezing.
And Smoke, you can see almost like the heat coming off of the little
I want
vehicle.
in that door. I just
And
want
they'll
in.
be like, well,
Quincy has his pants just below.
Hey, Maximus, check this out.
Oh, these are good friends of mine. Good people there. Go on in.
And he's got like the unsteady stream of an old man.
I'll open the door. Whoa! Oh!
Oh, right in your fur.
Oh!
Oh, and it freezes onto your fur.
it doesn't freeze right away. It takes a couple minutes.
Yeah, it can soak in.
It's only
first.
-5. At -40
What
would be
the hell?
icicles hitting him.
It's warm though.
I mean, not much came out. Maybe like 30 mils.
Little
Just a little-
squirt.
Quarter ounce.
It is good to see you, friends. I would gladly join you in your escapades to the north. I might even join you farther today, friends.
Oh, farther. That's fantastic. We always appreciate the fact that you guys will help us out.
This little lion man, though, he needs some warmth. Maybe he can go inside.
If he's a friend of yours, he can come with us, but you kind of need to vouch for him a bit.
Oh yeah, I've only known him a couple of days, but he seems decent. Just very cold.
I'm willing to pull my weight if I need to.
Seems very strong.
I'm Metha, and this is my husband Aaron. We're 4 guys. We run probably the last caravan that goes to and from Icewind Dale proper, all the way to the Luskan, south to Luskan. We're carrying a few guys. If you guys want to join in, that's fine. As long as anything comes up, you kind of like you two are the first to get there because these guys have paid to.
Yeah, no, well,
I don't know why they go on paying to go here, but they've paid to go here to Icewind Dale.
If we can offer our services for protection, I would gladly do that for a little bit of heat. Kind of looking at the door.
He's looking
Yeah.
through the
Feel
door.
free to come in. Zoko, you're still good with finding us some game each night or every other night. We got enough for like one more day, but usually we meet you about here, and we're kind of trying to keep costs down with everything going up in the north. So,
Oh yeah.
are you okay to kind of go hunting?
Absolutely.
I can help you with that, Soko.
That's perfect. We're going to be making camp in about maybe 3 hours. So, if you guys want to just jump in the back, and we'll get going again.
Sure. That sounds delightful.
Many thanks, and Smoke bows, hops in.
And as you guys climb into the back, you see an old man, short.
Throwing the bucket out right when he opens the door.
The bucket is bigger than you can lift. I'm gonna cut you off there. It is a barrel that is like kind of squats wide, and there's a tap on the side that actually they open and drain out.
Oh yeah, it's
I'll
got blue juice in there.
I'll say to
No,
the
there's no blue juice in this one. It's more like European trains in Italy. It opens and flushes on the road.
I'll say to the old man, I say, I realize you're marking your territory, but do you mind if I join you?
Sure. We don't have to line up at the bucket, though. I'll sit down.
Okay.
And we'll start with Quincy, if you want to describe your character to Zoko and Smoke.
Bald, a little bit of a comb over, squinting. He's got a cane, can barely move, can't see anything. Pretty well deaf. Very grumpy in a lot of situations. Mr. Magoo.
You will die up here, old man. You are useless to us.
Who, what?
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Now, next we'll go to Maximus, if you'd like to describe your character.
So Maximus is a human bard, and he is wearing leathers, and he has a cape. And the thing you notice about his cape is that it's more of a like a suit bag, and he zips it up the side, and he has a whole wardrobe that he carries around. Instead of like in a backpack where stuff would get all wrinkly, he has like all of his costumes for his performances in his suit bag that he wears as a cape. And he has a bow and arrows. He has a lute and a flute, and stands about 6 feet tall with brown hair and brown eyes.
And
little man.
last but not least, we'll go to Ponto.
Sitting majestically in the corner, you see a halfling already bundled up in all his cold weather gear. Bright green jacket, fur lined, and some heavy looking leather pants. Looks pretty lightly equipped. As you sort of look him over, he has a dagger, but he has a whole bunch of tools. He has hammers and various picks and thieves' tools and crafting tools and just any tool for any job that he would ever need. You see just strapped to his belt, strapped to his bag, all over him, but very, very lightly equipped apart from the tools that he's carrying. And he has a single piece of armor. He has a vambrace on his right arm that looks a little bit too big for him, sort of a bluish gray in color, and that's he's getting a little bit of a chuckle as Quincy's, peeing on the lion man that came in. But
Since we don't need to describe Zoko and Smoke for the sake of everyone else around us, let's go with our full character names, starting with Ponto.
my full character name is Ponto Goodhalf.
Next, we'll go to Smoke.
My full character name is Smoke Dawnroar.
We'll go with Quincy.
Quincy Magoo.
Ray, because I want to see him actually try and pronounce his full name now.
Doko Poko Roko Doko Goko.
Oh my goodness.
That's just gonna
Everybody
get you
calls
hurt.
me Yeti. You guys are my friends. You can call me Yeti.
I thought
And
he was-
lastly,
I heard
Maximus.
yeah,
What's
Yeti.
wrong?
I'm Maximus Overtone.
Perfect.
I thought Ray was playing Zuko. Who's this Zuko guy?
Soko
It's-
Poko Roko Noko Joko.
He's definitely not playing Zuko, because then he would be from the Fire Tribe.
Yeah.
Um,
So
What?
what do we call him? Yeti or Zoko?
You can call him Zoko, but if you get familiar enough with him, you will probably start calling him Yeti, because that's what everybody else calls him. Because he has scraggly, long white hair. He doesn't wear nearly enough clothing for the conditions it is outside in
Probably doesn't
Icewind Dale.
bathe either.
One does
He
not
takes
need to
snow
bathe out
baths,
here.
which means he like literally strips down and rolls in the snow. Don't recommend it for everyone. It's not a fan favorite.
Is fun.
Quincy, you could give him a golden shower.
Check
That
that one
is-
off the list.
Plus 10 experience points.
Oh,
Well,
God.
just so we're all aware, it's totally milestone, so it doesn't mean whatever. The points don't
Milestone,
matter till I
yeah.
tell you.
Just makes us
Exactly.
feel better.
Yeah.
He's just handing out
Um,
experience points all over the place.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody right now gets 100 experience. You're still level 1. At this point, the caravan, you see Metha kind of pull back. Zoko, it now would be about the right time to start running. The sun's just about done. Not that we're going to get that any much longer if we keep going north. But if you could maybe hunt something or maybe plan to tomorrow, that'd be fine. We have enough rations for everybody tonight.
Let's go find something.
I
Who's
need to
with me?
stretch my legs. I'll go with you.
Excellent.
That's
Y-
perfect.
Yeti?
That's great.
Can I call you Yeti?
You can call me. We're best friends, Fred. I run over and I give him a big hug.
Oh,
Oh, let's go find some meat. Oh, and then I wipe the piss off my chest that he had on him.
At this point, Zoko make a survival check with advantage because Smoke hunts for his entire life and is quite good at it, even though this terrain is completely foreign to him.
22.
That'll be just fine. You pull out this like gorgeous elk that was kind of like just in the lower parts of this bowl, and like the wind was kind of just sweeping towards you slightly so that none of your scent was there, and you Zoko is just, or Smoke is just amazed that you are walking in like gullies of snow like it's nothing, and he's just kind of like, you know, trying to keep up and, you know, trying to stay low and quiet, and he's taking notes from you at this point, going, oh look, this is how he's kind of walking through this, and he's seeing how you know you're stepping in your footprints, and when you kind of like got a kill, like, you know, you're making sure you hang up. Mike's trying to stretch and get another beer, but he's not committing to taking the headphones off. It's so entertaining to watch.
Watch him pull the computer over.
So at this point, like, you know, he's got a fresh kill, he's bleeding it out, and like you can see the blood coming out and pooling at the bottom, and he's trying to like butcher some of the meat quickly, and you're helping him with this process, and you guys get enough rations to get you all the way to Icewind Dale at this point, because there'll be enough meat to feed all of you with a 22. So I don't know if you guys want to maybe have a conversation with Smoke, being amazed at how you're walking in your own footsteps even on the way back, just out of sheer habit of always trying to take the easiest path, and even though trudging through, that is very appropriate, Mike. Thank you.
Mike's cut us off. He doesn't want us to see the beer runs anymore.
About how to like just stay efficient with your movement through snow, because it's like, Smoke, you're tired from just even this short jaunt, the cold weather, the inclement climate, and like just trudging through snow is just difficult for you to like wrap your brain around.
And
We're
I do
used to-
usually hunt horseback too.
You do? Okay, sure you do.
Horseback?
Yep.
Your people hunt horseback. Seems odd.
We hunt on horseback.
Really? But you're like a lion person.
Well,
Are you-
if we get
are you-
into the bush, I'll try to stealth, but when I hunt, I run as fast as I can too. I don't trudge through snow. This is like I'm in the mud. White mud.
I will teach you all the things I know, my friend. It will be fun. It will be glorious. And then we will visit your homeland and we will see your lion women. And
That
it will
sounds
be
good.
amazing.
Please send all of the fan art to perilouspursuits.com because I don't want to see any of it. So as you guys come back, you can see Metha and Aaron. They know Zoko will find something to eat because he has never failed them at this point. He has always found rabbits or elk on good days, and like maybe a wolf every now and again on any time. And they see the meat and they're like, oh, wonderful, and they go to quickly to chopping and preparing and just like making some hot stew, something to like satisfy your soul and maybe gain a bit of warmth back of where you think you're actually going. Quincy, for some reason you still think you were headed to Chalt. You think you're looking at the snow and you're like, oh, you were going to go through this cold span and like we're going to see white sandy beaches, and this is what you're thinking. You're seeing this hot sun, waves in the background, and white beaches and this snow, and you're just like smiling and you're pretending you're in like you're pretending you think you're gonna be in the beaches in like a couple days. It's gonna be amazing. And if Ponto would like, he can roll to attack Quincy, who is in not moving target, very slow moving.
What?
I want to throw a snowball at Quincy. That's probably not going to hit. Would an 11 hit?
That's a good question.
Probably does.
Yeah, that's
but
probably
old
his
man,
armor class.
He's blind. You have advantage if he's blind, don't you?
I would say you have advantage because Quincy's eyes are literally closed and he is imagining the sun on him right now.
Oh no!
But Quincy has weird luck, so.
All right, then
I think.
Gonna burn your luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a luck point and make you.
Oh no! 14 would have hit me.
I'm gonna use my halfling luck and reroll
Yeah, I'm
that
getting
one.
all of it right now.
We're gonna get attacked.
That's a 2. So
Luck against luck.
Slow all of your best abilities on this snowball fight.
yeah, so that'll be a 4 to hit.
So Quincy,
Yeah.
for some reason you're.
Quincy looks down. He thinks he saw a shell on the ground, and this snowball whizzes over his head.
Yeah.
And Ponto, you're like, the guy is 90 years old. How did he, like, his face was here and then his head was, and it like
Well, look over to
slow
Maximus and
motion
be like,
of like how he moved.
just like
and
my
the
grandpa.
snowball- and you're
Just
like,
like my grandpa, I can never hit him.
how is this possible?
Man is a wizard.
Metha and Aaron tell you guys that in about 2 more days travel, we'll get to the last town before we're kind of in Icewind Dale proper, and the town is called Raven Rock.
Bad omens.
One map that will not be on the thing, right? So you guys know that, a couple more days and you'll actually get not quite to Icewind Dale, but at this point, Aaron will kind of let you guys know, like, once we kind of get to Raven's Rock, there's kind of like, I know you guys are all going through to Icewind Dale, and that's fine. We've got a couple of stops to make, so we might take a few detours. Like, it's no big deal. The price is still the same. We're all getting to Icewind Dale safely. Like, we'll be fine. Zoko's here. Everything is A-okay.
Yeah.
And you all go to bed inside the caravan. There's kind of like stacked bunks that kind of like scoop up out of the deck and then like fold back in. You have no idea how this works. Quincy is enthralled with the button pushing and the beds pop out. He's like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You push the button and all the beds slam back into the caravan. It's the craziest thing. So you all go to bed.
Hooking it with a
Metha,
string.
Metha, and Aaron go. Zoko, you're still good to keep a watch, right? Normally, you help us out because we kind of take some shifts. You know, Aaron's kind of getting older these days, and you know, this might be one of our last trips. We got maybe 1-2 years left, and we're done.
Oh, that's sad to hear. I like you people. Of course I watch for you. No problem.
Perfect. Yeah. Aaron always takes the first watch. Zoko, if you can take the middle, and then Metha can take the last one.
That's the worst watch,
I'll-
but
I'll-
I'll do it.
I'll join the last one with Metha.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Smoke. It's appreciated. The last watch is always the hardest because you've slept from the beginning and then you get up. It's the dead of night and it's so cold out here. It's only going to get colder.
Great.
Aaron will, as you guys are going to bed, he will say like, there's a kind of a warning I gotta tell you guys, like just before, like tomorrow, before we get into Raven's Rock. It's about going into Icewind Dale. It's like I gotta tell everybody we gotta say, it's kind of like this is the warning. Once we go in here, there's kind of no turning back because we have to get to the towns and then we loop and we come back out and we'll be fine. You guys will get there. We'll all make it safe. But I just kind of have to like give you some warning. So you all go to sleep that night. Quincy has dreams of soft, warm beaches, waves in the background. Smoke, you have not been this warm. And honestly, it feels like years because this thing keeps this little caravan at a lovely 23 degrees. It's beautiful. It's warm all the time. You almost feel like there's like a breeze moving through. It reminds me almost of like your homelands. It's quite pleasant. Maximus, you have a fantastic sleep as you do every night, and same with you, Ponto. Go ahead.
Quincy gets up 3 times in the night to go pee.
I will allow it this time, and maybe when the weather is more inclement, you might have to make a check if you make it back.
Icicles.
No, he just goes to pee in the bucket.
Perfect. That's great. So when there is nothing to pee in the outside and you guys are camping or moving through whatever weather, we will make checks to see if you can figure out how far you go out and how far you come back. As an old man walking through snow in the middle of the night, things are disorientating.
Third time Quincy wakes up, I wake up and I'm like, Quincy, it's so cold. You have to be careful. Wake me up if you have to pee, and I will cast guidance on you. You have to be careful.
I never miss the bucket. Well, usually never.
Zoko, you actually kind of like sleep half in, half out because it's actually too hot.
Yeah, I keep telling everyone, we gotta open the door. It's fucking hot in here. Let's get the door open. We need a little breeze through here.
You're kind of like that person that sleeps with like the blanket over like a third of your body. Which third I don't know. You can leave that up for your imagination, but it's like the rest of you it's too hot. You're splayed out. You're sweating. It is hot in here. You enjoy the middle watch because it kind of gives you a break of being in this hot tent, and you feel that like that tug in your heart of like bringing you something, guiding you northward to Icewind Dale.
It's beautiful.
You guys all have an uneventful night and wake up the next day. You have a little bit of leftovers from last night's meal to start your day, and Metha and Aaron drain the bucket as they do every morning, and away they go. It's another very boring day. The weather is slowly getting colder. You can see clouds on the horizon slowly, almost always covering the skyline now. You would see sun maybe 2-3 days ago, but now it's nothing but clouds in the sky. It's just everything is always gray. You barely see the sun. And the temperature honestly starts to plummet. Aaron, on the last day before we get to Raven Rock, he kind of like sets the wagon up, and Metha kind of starts preparing the night again. And he says, "Now I don't know how much you guys know about here, but Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. It didn't used to be this way. It used to be quite nice in the summer months. It would get a little bit above zero, maybe 10, 15 degrees, and then the evenings would be above zero as well. But all we see is snow these times of the years. That's one of the reasons why this will probably be one of our last trips out of here. In the next day or two, we'll probably go through some mountain passes. We usually see blizzards, and even the spine of the world. If you talk to Zoko, he will tell you has been worse and worse. The lands of Icewind Dale has not felt the sun in almost 2 years. Nothing but frozen tundra, darkness, and bitter cold rain the land as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Oral the Frostmaiden as culprit of this. If you don't know who Oral is, I can fill you in on that, but honestly, it's kind of like this running myth of a creature that descended into these lands 2 years ago. People have seen it. Usually not many people make it back. If a group of adventurers such like yourselves go out and they find it, my best advice would be to run. If you see anything that doesn't make sense, turn around and go the other way. The people of Icewind Dale, the Dale folk, they live in scattering of settlements known as the 10 Towns. Caravans coming in like ourselves, are the only connection of these settlements to the rest of the mainland of Faerun. We are one of the last few. A few times, once a month, each town kind of sacrifices something to Oral to hopefully maybe appease her, and she will release us out of this winter. Some towns sacrifice people. It's unfortunate. We understand it's not liked, but it's necessary. They feel to appease Oral in saying how devoted they are to her, the Frostmaiden. Some people sacrifice food. All the food and the trout and the elk and all their catchings they will lay out and sacrifice the food of the day. And for towns that are still not good enough to do that, some people sacrifice the heat. They will turn off all heat sources, all oil lanterns, all furnaces. Any sort of heat for one night will be turned off. Be aware that when this is going on, honestly, it's the best to just blend in. Don't stand out. Try and not make an impact on the people, but if you hear a rumor or something going on that you need to help with, help them, because honestly, for the past 2 years, it's been awful. I have never, ever seen snow for 2 years in this miserable place.
I give Smoke a little nudge with my elbow, and I say, hey, maybe we can make use of that Quincy after all. Sacrifice him.
Well, he must be the leader of his clan. He's marking his territory everywhere. It's probably royalty.
Well, that'll be even greater of a sacrifice to Oral.
That's true.
Huh?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's why it actually sounds like how we select leaders at home.
It was just a joke, man. Come on, Smoke. I'm just joking.
Smoke has no idea about the humor. Doesn't get it at all. Took it way too literally.
Aaron will continue to tell you guys, it's like, you guys are more of the adventurer types. We've carried lots of groups up here. The 10 towns are what they call the 10 towns. They're kind of a place to test one's own strengths and maybe spirit of the people who have come before you. But if you can help these people at all, it would be appreciated. They're really down on their luck. Whatever you do, if you need to go outside, bundle up, walk straight where you're going, and get in the building. Don't leave the door open. Close it immediately. It's really disrespectful if you leave the doors open or anything of the sort, because we all work very hard to keep things heated here and warm so we all don't freeze to death. Because it's honestly going to get twice as cold. And Aaron is staring at Smoke. It's going to be twice as cold
And
as
Smoke's
it is right now.
Smoke's jaw just slowly starts opening, just like can't believe it.
And Aaron will tell Smoke, is like, look, in the dead of night last year, I had to go pee, and we were almost in Icewind Dale, and I honestly peed so fast that it was icicles hitting the ground before I got back in. It froze coming right out of me.
That's gotta hurt.
It's special.
So Aaron has warned all of you that the weather out here is awful. He has seen blizzards, avalanches, anything of the sort. He has told you a little bit of what he knows about Auril the Frostmaiden. Auril is spelled Auril. Don't know why they pronounce it that way, but that's what they did. Otherwise known as the Frostmaiden.
It's because we weren't twisted as fuck in the 80s when the name was made.
Probably. So you all will know about the Frostmaiden and her rule over, let's call it Icewind Dale, or the 10 towns area at the minimum, in your knowledge. Zoko would know the 10 towns, at least the names of them. Maybe Ponto as well would at least know the names of the towns. He at least knows the name of the main town. Smoke would have no knowledge of it. Quincy would have no knowledge of it. And Maximus would definitely have knowledge as well. As you guys bed down for the night again and go through the process, Smoke, you toss and turn at the thought of it being at least twice as cold as it is right now in the middle of the day. You go through your gear many times, making sure you've got your furs, your boots, your extra pair of like leg warmers going off. You've got your mitts set out. Scarves have been added to your inventory. Like, you were set for this. You bought what the guy told you at the store, saying, "Oh, you're going to Icewind Dale," and the guy's like, "You're going to Icewind Dale?" He's like, "You're covered in fur. Maybe you'll at least be." It's like, "No, it's cold right now," and the guy's like, "It's like 15 outside, but you're like freezing."
I think Smoke would really take extra care. He's realizing what he's getting into, and he's treating his clothing like it's his most prized possession. Take care of it.
At this point, you guys are all going through the motion of checking your gear, making sure you have everything. Quincy, do you want to roll an investigation?
Guidance.
You can add guidance. I don't care.
We can't see Jason's rage face, though.
Everything.
$12 plus 12 plus You say investigation?
Yeah.
Oh, 12 minus 1.
Perfect. Did you add a D4 to it?
Yes.
Okay.
11.
Wonderful. That's fine. That's enough in my books. In your book that you have, like your plans, day 1, going to the beach, day 2, all that stuff written out, you find about at the back, you kind of like flip it open and it kind of props open. You find this note fall out. And you open it up and you kind of like, and you're like doing this to just try and see the
I get
letters.
out my magnifying glass. My one
Perfect.
eyeball goes really big.
Exactly. And it says,
What does this say?
and you find in well-scripted, lovely writing of your son, it says, "Dear Dad, in the years we've gotten to know you and seen you get more and more crazy, we have opted for you to have one more adventure by sending you to, in quotations, Chult. We hope that you never come back. You have been nothing but crazy. Ever since whatever happened at your work when you finished, the past year has been awful. You are not yourself. You are losing your mind. We are nice enough, and I mean nice enough, to provide you with clothes when you get to Icewind Dale." And you see like a little snowman written on and like a snowflake.
I think one of you guys dropped a note over here.
And it says, "Dear Dad," and you know this is your son's writing, and this, now it's starting to click in, like, you're really going north. And you're kind of doing the panic, going like,
Little
"Am I at the
fucker.
right airport?"
The little fucker. The little fucker. The little fucker. The little fucker.
And the
You
note
okay there,
continues
old
to
man?
go on.
Turn the
as-
cart around. Turn the cart around. I'm gonna go kill him.
Love Will.
It says, "Honestly, if we never see you again, that's fine with me. If you somehow manage to get your senses back and you make it back here, not only will we be impressed, but we hope it's 5 to 10 years from now. Because honestly, maybe in that time, you'll get not so crazy. I don't know what happened to you. Maybe those wizards did something to you on your last day. But honestly, stay away. And please, for the love of everything, I hope you run into an old friend and you fall out and freeze in a lake, because we don't want to see you. Sincerely, what would the name of your son be?"
Little bastard.
Art.
No.
I think Will.
Oh,
Sure.
Will.
It'll be
No way, you can't bring
Love
that
Will.
close to home.
Sure, why not?
That's cruel.
We all knew you were thinking it.
Yeah.
And in your pack, below all of your stuff that you had planted out, which is like, your bathing suit, your suntan lotion, your big sun hat, you've got like your tent, you've got mosquito repellent, you've got all of this beach paraphernalia kind of stuffed in.
Snorkel.
You're taking it all, a
Flipper.
snorkel. You're pulling all this stuff out, and you're like, at the bottom is this like care package, and it's tied up, and you thought it was like maybe a gift from like your employers, and you open it up, and it is the ugliest fur set clothing you have ever seen. It is white with black spots, and you swear you look like a cow you've seen on a farm before, and you're like, where did they find this? And you're rubbing at the white, and it's coming off. It's like they dyed the furs. It is the ugliest thing you have ever seen, but you're like, at least it'll keep me warm.
Smoke is looking at his other stuff in the suitcase, and he's like, "It looks like You need to go to where the Rihanna Savannah.
I put 2 more pairs of socks on and my sandals back on.
And a
I'm
fanny
gonna
pack.
lean over to Maximus and I'm gonna be like, "Is it awkward that he read that note out loud?"
Do you have a fanny pack of holding?
No, he has not acquired that yet. He's close on the age cusp where it's just trending. It's if he gets one, it's turned to the side. It's like a hip. It rides on his hip.
Yeah.
Maximus, you have taken up the kind tradition of maybe making some music every night as you guys are just eating and just like relaxing, keeping your talent sharp and kind of like stretching your musical notes. Can you make a performance check to see how you're doing tonight?
Sure. I got 15.
Perfect. And what instrument are you playing?
Well, probably a pan flute. My fingers might be too cold to work the lute tonight.
That's fair enough.
That's what she said.
Thank you. You guys are entertained by Maximus's rendition of some song you haven't heard in a while. It's
So good,
pleasant.
so good.
It's not bad. It's like aspiring new coming up good. Like Ponto, in the nights, are you tinkering still, kind of just like working on your stuff, like, or are you kind of just like joining in, or?
So tonight I'm gonna dig through one of my bags and I'm gonna pull out like a little smith hammer and some tweezers and some other tools, and I'm just sort of like making a mess around where I am, and I'm working on this like small cube, and I'm just working away on it. Every once in a while I have to like adjust this vambrace that's on my arm, and I sort of twist it back to how I figure it should be on there. But I'm tinkering around with this thing, and part of the way through the night I'm hoping I can wake up. But yeah, every night I sort of mess around and tinker around with some objects, and sometimes I'll take my vambrace off over in the corner and I'll start messing around with it and twisting it, looking at it from different angles. Very very determined, nervous, fidgety type energy.
Yep. Aaron and Metha, they will talk to you guys again. It's like, look, we don't expect you guys to help us like take watch by any means, but if you guys want to help us out, it'd be appreciated. If we all take a watch, it kind of it's not stressful for everyone. We could pair up then at least, so
I'll take
you're
first
not
watch.
by yourself.
Smoke will offer
Thanks.
to take first watch.
Thanks, Smoke. You'll have Aaron with you. He always takes the first watch. For second watch, anybody? Zoko,
Yes. Second watch is the worst watch.
Zoko.
I will join.
Anybody want to join, Zoko?
Ponto will hop up and be like, I'll help with the second watch.
Perfect.
Excellent.
The really big guy and the really short guy. Got it. One more watch. Quincy, do you wake up in the night to pee? Can you like take a watch while you're peeing?
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Maximus, can you join him just so he doesn't wander away? At least, like, I don't need this coming back to me at this point.
All right.
Hey, I hear you play that young monkey music, so I brought my kazoo.
You play the kazoo?
Yeah, kazoo.
Let's see.
He pulls out his kazoo and
Is that coming out of the kazoo
Yeah.
or somewhere else?
No, it's coming out of the kazoo. The kazoo.
Frantically goes into his bag and grabs another little cube, and he starts working on something really fast while the kazoo's playing.
So you guys all like bed down for the night. The first watch will be Smoke and Aaron. Smoke, you can roll perception with advantage because Aaron will be there with you.
Do you smoke?
don't
Only
know.
when I'm riding horseback.
No, you just need to make a perception check with advantage.
It's an 18.
Perfect. You can see light snow falling down. You can see kind of like almost the moon kind of glowing on the top of the clouds, providing a very eerie setting as you can see the lights of the town just at the speck of the distance.
I'll probably walk around the caravan, like just to keep warm, just to keep my body moving, do some jumping jacks.
That's fine. Aaron will be firmly planted on top of the caravan. He has a spot that he sits and watches, almost like if he gets low enough, like he kind of stays in that heat bubble that transitions between the caravan and the elements somehow.
And I'll join them every once in a while just to warm up, but I have my battle axe resting on my shoulder.
Perfect. For the second watch, it will be Zoko and Ponto. You guys can both roll perception.
I'm going to use my halfling luck to re-roll that one.
Oh, no.
Come on, man.
16.
It's an 11.
Perfect. Aaron informs both of you, he didn't see anything, nothing was coming up. You guys are kind of like parked just on this like crest of a hill to kind of like overlook. Not a lot moving out there because it is just, you can see the snows getting deeper in like the sides, and you can see the spire of mountains on your right. Like you can see the mountain pass just keeps going. Maybe Zoko would tell you some stories of like him growing up and just like of the spine of the world and just how life is up at the top of the mountains.
Life is the best at the top of the mountains. It's so cold. It's the best.
I look at him in awe, and I'm like, I believe it. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to rush back into the caravan, and by the piss bucket, I'm going to finish with my magical tinkering in this cube, and I'm going to go over to Smoke and find like a strip of leather or something, and I'm going to make this cube emit the odor of this piss bucket, and I'm going to hide it somewhere in his leathers. And then I'm gonna go back to Zoko.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Smokes just starts rubbing his nose in his sleep.
I don't think I'm very good at sleight of hand, but that's a 15.
That's pretty good.
What's Smoke's passive perception? I don't think it's 15.
No, it would be an 11.
Perfect.
15 plus 2, 17.
You are dexterous enough to like. Smoke is sleeping in his fur-lined hat, his jacket. He is like so warm, and he's just like. Every now and then, you kind of just see him twitch and shiver. You see his tail kind of just swing and curl around him. You find this like inside pocket that like somehow like he just turned and it opened up, and you put it in the inside pocket, and he's like rolling. And then you can just see kind of his nose just like a cat's nose just kind of just moving, and you can see whiskers kind of just like twitching, and it's just like, and he's restless now. Like he might figure it out in the morning, but he's not waking up. It's too cold. He is curled up in his little spot.
Run back out and be like, okay, so in the morning, Quincy marked his territory. I'm gonna awaken Zoko. Like,
I don't understand.
Can you make an insight check to understand what that means, Zoko?
It's okay. You'll get it. You'll get it. It'll all make sense.
That's an 11.
Perfect. You totally, the wink, the Quincy, and remembering that when Smoke opened, he got peed on. You get it. You're like, oh,
That's
you're doing
good.
this.
That's
And
so good.
Zoko, are you drinking whiskey tonight? It's cold enough. You would normally kind of on your watch, you kind of have a nightcap just to kind of warm your blood.
I would be okay with that. I don't have any whiskey though, but
You have some on you. You have what for you is a small container in your pack set aside of whiskey from your camp, we'll call it.
perfect.
DM gift to your character sheet.
Yeah.
It's appropriate for your character. I feel like it wouldn't travel without it.
I will offer a sip to Ponto for his excellent work. He's funny what you done.
Ponto, you know when like in Lord of the Rings and they come back, this is a pint? That's like
they call it a pint.
It's honestly like Sam Riegel in his flask.
Fantastic.
You're the best, Ponto. Here you go. Try this.
And I mean, Ponto, you've had alcohol before, but this stuff is like the harshest whiskey you've had in years. It tastes like it almost could like just combust to give heat. Like that's how strong it is.
This is the smooth stuff. You should try it.
I take a reasonable sized swig for myself and kind of half step back a little bit. Whoa. That's pretty good.
And you both are like, you're perfectly fine for this cold temperature tonight, especially after the whiskey. Your body is radiating heat.
I'll throw out a create bonfire as well nearby to Ponto.
Yeah, and that spot is like, it feels, I mean, it's warm, but I mean, you got to be like right up to it. Like, it's like the elements are just swirling and like moving the heat around. It's creating some heat, but it's not a ton.
Yep.
So your watch goes by, and then for the third watch, we'll have who is waking up Quincy and who is waking up Maximus.
I'll wake up Maximus.
Perfect. That means Ponto's waking up Quincy.
Quincy's fucking wild card. I stay away from him.
Okay.
If you want to be kind, you can just say you wake them up, but this is your choice.
I wake up
at the beginning of the campaign. I want to just set the tone for shenanigans because I know it's going to happen eventually. So I'm allowing it to happen now so I can expect it later.
I'll grab another cube out of my bag and I'll start tinkering around with it for a few seconds. I'm going to put a cube right beside Quincy's ear and just starts, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And it'll keep going and going and going. And I can have 3 of these things going indefinitely.
It's time for work
until I overwrite
already.
one of them.
And Quincy, you're kind of just like, you kind of like, you can hear the wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And you're just like, it's just like hitting you, like, and you're like, oh. And you're doing like the old man stretches that gets out of bed. He's just like, and then you kind of hunch back over and you're like, oh, I'm better now.
And Olive ran over to my bunk and pretended I was sleeping already.
It takes a few minutes. Like you've got time to kind of like, and then you Quincy, you see the cube and it's like talking to you and you're like, that's so cool. And you put it in your pack and you're like, Maximus, did you see this? Like, it's cool. It wakes you up when you need to wake up.
Okay.
And you and Maximus go. How long, Ray, does create bonfire last? An hour?
No, it's 1 minute maybe
Okay, so it's
At-
gone. I don't
at
know.
most. Yeah, concentration up to a minute.
It's a
Perfect. So
cantrip. He can keep casting it, but if he
yeah,
goes
but
to
he's
bed,
not
Yeah.
taking a watch, so he can't
Yeah.
do that.
Unless
so
there's wood there that keeps burning.
there is not wood there. So you guys kind of like, Aaron has showed you kind of like these are the spots I normally, if you kind of get up on top of the caravan carefully, you can stay kind of in this warm little heat bubble that the caravan makes us, and we can be on our way safely. So if you guys want to each make a perception check.
Okay. Maximus is gonna sneak back down into his bed and not make a perception check.
Sure, then make a stealth check, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Stealth, I got a 15.
Now I
What
know
was
how
that?
we're gonna die.
Believe it or not, Quincy just critted on his perception check.
Blind Quincy.
Like a natural 20 kind of, or
Yeah,
like
I
the
just
might
rolled a-
kind of?
I just rolled
checking.
a natural 20.
Perfect. That's great. So you swore that Maximus got up with you.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, where is he? And you're sitting in the spot and it's actually still kind of warm out. And you're like, if I leave the spot, it's going to be cold. And you're humming and hawing and you're like, I'll be fine. I'm wide awake. I haven't felt this awake in years. And you're in good spirits considering you just found out that you got screwed by your family. But maybe you've turned over a leaf and you like, I will show those young whippersnappers what real mental and physical work looks like, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to kick them out of my house. They can go freeze their asses up on at this place when I get back.
Okay.
And nothing happens on your watch. It's really uneventful, but you do notice that Maximus is definitely not there. Like, you kind of do a quick peek around, but he's not there. And you can see the moonlit covered clouds as it's rolling through, and you can see kind of just faintly on the snow as it's reflecting the light. And you're like, for a place that's really cold and awful, at least it's beautiful. The snowy landscape is nice. You can see the road for miles almost.
I can.
What you think the road is, you think it looks actually not bad. So you know that when you get back in, you'll wake up Martha and you say, little shaker, is it Martha? I'm done my watch. It's your turn. We'll see you in the morning. And she's like, oh, thanks so much, Quincy.
Should I roll to make sure that it's Martha that I wake up, or?
You know which bed to go to, because like Aaron and Martha, they've been sleeping in the same bunk at the bottom all the time, and it's the same one. You know which one is theirs. You don't know who's who, but you just shake the person and say, Martha, it's your turn to watch. I mean,
Okay.
You can roll odds or evens to know which one you're talking about.
I'll go wake them up, and then when I'm finished waking them up, I'm gonna put the wake up cube in Maximus's pillow.
Perfect. That's great. You can do that. If you want to make a sleight of hand check, that'd be great. You can make it with advantage because Maximus is passed out. Like he's like, I'm not doing this. It's not happening.
Sleight of hand. 19.
Perfect. That's fantastic. You, with quick, graceful movements, slide the pillowcase open and slide it in, and Martha's getting up and she's watching you, and you're like, has this guy been like, has he been shitting us this whole time? Because like what I see to hear is like something like a 20-year-old shady little shit goes. And he has gracefully slid it in, tucked the sheet back in, and none's the wiser. And Quincy walks over to his bed and just kind of curls up in his little bunk, and he kind of just, I don't know what you do for small time, whether you're writing notes in your book or you're, just kind of like chatting to yourself like crazy old people do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Your full rest is done. But Martha gets out and she's starting to make a bit of breakfast again. You guys, Martha, after an hour or so, she kind of just says, "Okay, everyone, just wait. We got about 10, 20 minutes, and relieve yourselves, and we'll head out again, and we're gonna go head out to Raven Rock today, and after that we'll be into Icewind Dale proper. So, if there's anything you need, I mean, you guys are fair enough to go into the town, but we'll only be there for about 10 minutes, and there's only like 2 shops. One is like a general shop, and the other one is kind of just like a pub. There's some houses around, but don't knock on any of the doors. The people there, they don't like outsiders. Just if you want to go out, need to grab a drink, just go there. We're going to resupply at the shop, and then we'll be out in like 20 minutes.
Is it still the morning? Like, are we all outside the caravan?
Yeah, it's still morning time. You're still
I gotta find Yeti and just kind of stretch and just say to Yeti, it's strange people in our group. I honestly, I'm not sure if I understand your customs and all that, but
It's okay.
I think I feel welcome.
Oh yeah, we're friends. We're best friends.
I really appreciate it. I feel like these. I think I'm understanding the customs too, and I consider you a friend too.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this place here, but these people seem okay.
Well, you know what? Just to show you how I can maybe adapt, I'll pull my pants down and I'll start peeing on Yeti.
I would like to do a reflex save to avoid such a thing.
Or
a dexterity save or something.
You make your P save. You roll that P save right now.
Initiative, maybe.
We'll start with initiative. Yeah,
I thought absolutely. I think I got a surprise round.
Are they going to start crossing swords now?
No, I'm just backing off.
I honestly think this is a custom of friendship. Yeah.
No, that's not fun.
Well, the stream has started.
Yeti,
you can't stop a stream midstream.
Like, you're looking down, like Smoke is playing with his pants, and you're like, "What is going on?" And then he like opens them, and like he's about to pee on you. Roll a dexterity save to just humor me. Please, for the love of everything, get 5% to get the 1.
Oh, come on.
That's a 20.
Shit.
20 total?
20 total, yes. 19 plus 1.
Okay, that's fine. You swiftly move one of your legs out of the stream. I mean, maybe some molecules of Smoke's pee brushes past your leg, and you're like, you explain to him that this is not the customs here. That is the weird old man thing. That is not normal.
Yeah, this is not what it's supposed to be. We don't do this to each other.
But the old man, he did that to me.
The old man's fucked in the head.
And then I found one of that little guy over there. He gave me one of these cubes that smells like the pee too. I think he gave me some of his pee.
I think that's because you're their bitch. I'm nobody's bitch. I don't know what their deal is.
So you're telling me that I was actually all I was doing was peeing on you right now?
Yeah, the peeing. No, well, you didn't because I'm faster than you, but you tried to.
I apologize.
But I forgive you.
I apologize. I'm confused. I don't understand your strange ways up here.
I think we need to talk. I don't know. These people are not my people. In my culture, we don't pee on each other. Maybe it's okay for you to pee on them. I don't know.
We don't pee on each other either.
I think maybe ask them before you start peeing on them, though.
I pee on trees. Mark my territory, but I don't feel like I should belong to them now.
You might want to check with them, see where you belong in the social order of things.
Yeah,
On the P stick, so on the P scale,
Yeah,
whether you're top or the bottom.
I think you're on the bottom of the P scale now.
Yeah, I don't want any more pee on me.
I have no intent of peeing on you, so
Good.
I promise.
I bow. I say thank you, my friend.
I do nothing to dishonor you or your people.
All right. And I look at all the yellow streaks in the snow.
And Ponto's just rolling around in the not yellow snow. Laughing just off.
And honestly, Smoke is so naive. He doesn't get a lot of things go over his head.
I think Ponto's just joking with you. I don't know if the other guy, that Quincy. I don't know what his deal is.
We joke sometimes, like we bite each other or punch each other. It's funny.
I would not recommend trying that. Ponto was just having a laugh. It was fine. It was friendly, I think.
Okay. So don't punch him, don't bite him?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Strange customs.
So as you guys are just getting ready for your day, you eat your meal and the caravan pulls into Raven Rock, and we'll stop here and we'll take a quick break. And we'll all take an actual pee break and not pee on a smoke break.
You're all my friends!
And we'll see everyone back in a few minutes.
All right. It was really good, Art.
It's been good descriptions.
The cart is pulling into Raven Rock, and you see Martha and Aaron. They're busy getting ready. They look at you guys. You guys is like, we got 20 minutes. You can either come in the shop or go in the tavern. I recommend the tavern. Just have a drink, and we'll be lickety split out. Just tell them Martha and Aaron have sent you, and you can have a glass of the cider on the house. It's all right. It's actually pretty good. It's from Good Mead. What is the name of the town?
Good Mead.
I'll look at Yeti for direction, just like, what should we do?
Yeah, it's from Good Mead, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why should we listen to them? We go have free cider.
Let's go get a whiskey.
What is this whiskey? I've never had alcohol before. What is this alcohol?
You've never had alcohol? What's wrong with your people? Come on, let's go have some.
Okay.
Is that a cat?
The Arakokas used to make some, but I've never tasted it.
Come.
As you guys are kind of like chatting and walking towards the tavern, you open the doors and kind of like Smoke, maybe your nose is kind of more attuned at like picking up scents just because of the feral nature of your class and maybe your hunting characteristics. This pungent essence of like damp wood that hasn't been cleaned proper in years, and like old liquids that you've never smelt before that have stained the bar tops. And you see a male behind the bar, and he's serving, and he kind of just gives you the nod, and you can see a dwarf at the table beside you as you walk in. And it's a pretty tight room. It's like maybe 30 by 40, so it's not a big space. There's a couple of tables around.
I'm 6'6", 235.
You can easily walk in the place.
Okay.
It's just like you duck your head to get in, and like a regular human can walk through the door. You've got to duck because you're tall, and same probably with Zoko. You're probably fairly tall. You're bending way down and coming back up, and everybody else is walking in behind you. And the bartender behind, Orem Whitestone, he just goes over and is like, welcome. You're here in Raven Rock. I take it you're with the caravan. They're supposed to be coming in today, but I've never even seen you are. But if you're with Aaron and Martha, you can come and you can have a drink.
I'll give him a big
you with
toothy
them?
grin.
Yes,
Big-
please, we are.
Perfect. Yep, that's fine. I'll be there in a second. Just go sit at a table and we'll get at you. And Orem's looking at Quincy shaking his stick. He's like, "We don't do that here. You either go sit or you go out. You choose."
I think Mike's mic is off again.
Yeah, it is. There you go.
Were you doing the voice and nobody was listening?
Yeah.
I can see your mouth moving.
You were doing this, and I'm like,
I was like,
Orem's like, nope.
Is an
Quincy's like
audience
waving
of-
his cane in the air
Sir!
because like nobody can see him. He's hunched over and he's below the bar, so all you'd see is the tip of the cane.
audience of one.
I'm entertaining myself.
So you all find a table off in a corner, and you are all kind of like huddled around, and you're like stretching because it's actually warm in this building. It's not cold. The roads out now are all covered in snow always. The temperature is still in the negatives at the highest point of today. But you know at this point you kind of are creeping into the valley of Icewind Dale. And like Aaron warned you, it is honestly only getting colder from here. You see like little fires, like kind of like ambient heaters on each side of the room just to like keep a small, efficient, because it is expensive to heat places. He honestly hopes more people come in because your body heat is actually heating it faster than the ambient heat on each side of the building. He pulls up with a glass for each of you. He's like, "Thanks for stopping in. You'll only be here for a little bit. Just keep to yourself and don't piss off the dwarf, please. Honestly, he's been a pain in my ass for the longest time. Just keep quiet and drink your free drink, and it's fine. See you when you come back out of this shithole that you're going into. Thank you."
Thank you for the drink.
And he waves and goes back to the bar, and he's cleaning the bar and maybe some glasses, and he's serving a few other customers, and you can see that dwarf he pointed off. He's like, just don't piss them off, please. And you can see she is muttering to herself, and you kind of like think him like
I looked
kind of like Quincy, except for a little smarter, a lot younger, because she's kind of much better looking. What would you guys like to do in this 20 minutes? Because you can hear people talking around you. You can hear the dwarf talking at the table beside you. What do you want to go on doing for the 20 minutes here?
I'm looking to see if Ponto has got that glint in his eye that I seen when he put the piss stick on Smoke.
I'm thinking. Pull off my bag and start rummaging through. I'm putting tools on this table and sort of look over him like, so we're not supposed to piss off the dwarf, eh? What should we do?
Maximus is keeping his eyes peeled for any of the patrons here that maybe have their change purse like loosely tied around their belt. Just something that maybe they wouldn't notice if it left.
You can see that most of the people here are adept at life that is harsh, and the only one that you can see is kind of like even remotely not paying attention to like their personal effects would be the dwarf, but honestly, she's got a battle axe embedded into the table beside her and a shield on one side. She looks like she could take care of herself, but she would be the only one that you might be able to, like, you know, swindle something off of, but it's a
Is
chance.
she drinking?
She is drinking.
Is she like 12 beers in?
Hey Maximus, you want to play the kazoo with me? Play some music. It's a bar, right? Let's get it hopping.
Yeah, I got a horn I can play.
No, I'm not playing music with you.
Okay, I'm playing with it, Quincy.
I'm gonna get as far away from Quincy and Zoko. I'm not a part of this.
I'm playing my horn.
Or
Musicians,
Zoko,
they're the worst. Never
go
play
ahead and
instruments.
make a performance check, and same with you, Quincy. We'll see how good your horn blowing and your
Guidance.
playing.
I'm proficient.
You can only
in,
do one at a time, so you pick it.
Oh, that 20!
One at a time. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, but you have to concentrate.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
can
They're
concentrate
both
on
making
one
it
at a time.
the same time.
Performance.
Let's go into Quincy.
I
Okay,
got a 20.
perfect. That's fantastic.
I got a 22.
Maximus, your jaw drops as like the horn and kazoo work together in unison like you've never thought before. One is picking up and the other one is ebbing through. It's like they're a well-oiled jazz band that is playing for years, like riffing off of each other, and it is mind-boggling.
Am I the
They are
only
so-
one? Am I the only one who is distracted by this wonderful performance?
No, Smoke is beside you. I'm kind of watching him in awe too.
Everyone in the bar is turning and staring at your table, including the dwarf. And like Orem is just like, well, these guys can play. I didn't know that. Shit, we should have just had them here for a long. Maybe I can, you know, he's thinking it was like, maybe I can stall Martha and Aaron for a day here. Like, you know, I can maybe bring in a few more guests. I could sell a few more cups. It'd be great. And like, he's just like, you could see the wheels spinning. He's like, I've got to capitalize on this opportunity. This does not happen every day. I've got some weird people here that suddenly can play some instruments that are really good.
So I'll approach him and I'll say, "Look, you like what you hear? I mean, we could maybe come back tomorrow and do a whole set. If if you pay up front, it's a mere 10 gold, and we'll play a whole set tomorrow night. How's that sound?"
Yeah, but you're... Oh, hi, I'm Orem. Nice to meet you. Your name is?
Maximus.
Oh,
Maximus
perfect.
Overtone.
Wonderful. How did you meet such great players? Like, I haven't seen guys like that could play it in years since, like, you know, the snows left before this winter came.
Well, we're a traveling troupe, and we all have our strengths. Some play the kazoo, some play the horn. I myself have a pan flute here and a lute, and I've
wow.
got many different talents. So
Absolutely. So 10 gold and you'll play tonight or you'll play tonight and tomorrow night. 10 gold.
well, tonight is just for free. Tonight is just to show off, and
Amazing.
tomorrow night we'll come back and play for 10 gold. How's that sound?
Perfect. Now you're with Martha and Aaron, right? Like you're heading down. Are you here for a day? Sometimes it's odd when they come, but normally they're only in here for a little bit.
Well, if you can persuade us, we might stay a day.
Oh, well, yeah, and just give me like 10 minutes. If you go sit down, I'll send out my boss, and he'll go talk to Martha and Aaron, and I'll get right back to you. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Maximus, we should leave soon. The caravan's going to be leaving any minute now.
Okay.
And you'll see kind of like everyone kind of like staring as like people are shouting across the bar as the kazoo and the horn are playing still. And Orem's just thinking, it's like, oh shit. I can give you 5 gold right now, but I really need to talk to my boss. can I give you 5 and you can just hold off for like 10 minutes, please?
All right, five is like a holding fee.
Sure. That is, and you'll see kind of him taking out from like behind the bar. He'll pull out 5 gold pieces and slide up. He's like, honestly, just don't tell my boss I did this right now. Last time, like I really got in trouble about this because they weren't very good after the first night. But I've seen you guys play. They're fantastic. Just give me a minute. And you see Matt, he gives you the 5 gold. He's like, absolutely, go sit back down. And he motions for you to go back to your table. Do you walk back?
He told me to go sit down.
Yeah, he told you. He's like, give me like 10 minutes. Like he paid you your 5 gold. He told you to go sit back down. He's like, I'm gonna get my boss to go talk to Martha and Aaron and see if they can swing like maybe at least one more day here.
Well, no, I'm not gonna go sit back down. I'm gonna be like, well, actually, before you go to talk to your boss, maybe I could play a song for you myself.
Oh, well, I really need to. I'm so sorry. Here he pours you an extra glass of mead and he hands it to you. He's like, honestly, like I really need to tell my boss, like, don't worry about it. This one's free as well. And like he like drops the glass and you see him rummage underneath the bar and then he's like, I'll be just back in a second. And you see him like walk to the side and he just like opens the door in behind the bar and he's like, hey boss, can you come out here?
In the meantime, in the background, Quincy's wandering around looking for a bucket.
I thought you were playing the concert. I thought you were kazooing.
I was, but I'm kazooing
and still being okay. You're doing the jazz flute escapades of,
through the crowd.
Ron
He's playing
Burgundy
through the
right
crowd.
now.
Really playing up
he's
the crowd.
He's playing up the crowd. Correct. Okay. So you see him like shout into the back, and like another human male walks forward, and they have a few words, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And he sees you guys playing. He's like, "Oh, this is fantastic!" And you see the guy exit the tavern. At this point, the dwarf at the table beside kind of like kicks back and is watching you play, and is like drinking her drink, and she's like motions over. Is like, "Hey, you guys are pretty good. You guys heading down to the 10 towns?" She's just like talking to your guys' table. I'm assuming Quincy and Zoko, you're kind of like doing your thing in like kind of the middle of the room. I don't know. Zoko's probably like standing just playing the horn while Quincy's kind of bobbing and weaving, so to speak. So
Probably got a good 5 minutes of playing, and then I'm tired of it, bored of it.
Sure. So that means
Bartender.
Maximus, actually, Smoke would be there, Ponto would be there, Zoko would be walking back, and that leaves Maximus the unknown yet. So
Okay, so if Zuko's gonna bail after 5 minutes, I'm gonna take the second set. I'm gonna get on the platform stage.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I'll pull out the loot. It's warm in here.
Yep.
I'm gonna flag down the waitress while he's doing that.
The waiter.
Waiter. Yeah.
I will join Maximus with the second cube that I frantically got going last night in the recording of the kazoo last night that was not nearly as talented. And I'll run up on the stage with that. I'll be like, I'll look at Maximus, I'll be like, I'm ready.
Okay. So Maximus, you can make your performance check with advantage because this is what you do. Ponto, you can attempt. You can certainly try and make a performance check to see how good the kazoo was.
Pretty sure the kazoo was not great last night, so
it wasn't, but this is you enhancing through your abilities.
Oh, that's kind of you.
That's what an artificer does. So,
well, That's a 2 plus 0. Can't reroll 2s.
Nope.
And I got a 14.
Perfect. So Maximus is not nearly as good as the first set of Quincy and Zoko. They've obviously set that bar high, and I mean you're playing good. It's average. It's still decent. It's better than probably most of these people have heard.
And this is a lute. This isn't just a kazoo.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's way more intricate, and you're attempting to do like you're trying to like upscale it and do harder stuff because you feel like the bar has been set by Zoko and Quincy.
Kazuzo solo.
Yeah.
Kazoko.
Zoko.
Kazuko.
Oh my goodness.
And then Ponto in his full 2'6" power stance, holding this tiny cube, pokes it, and
yeah, you hear this kazoo go off, and like Ponto's like kind of like double tapping it, so it's like starting and stopping. It's very offbeat, and Maximus, you're playing, and you're like, "What are you doing? Stop this nonsense! Like I'm playing here. You're distracting the people.
Go sit down. I got this."
And Ponto's just like tapping is like is like start stop, and you get like 3 seconds of this really obnoxious kazoo noise.
And DJ Smooth there.
Nope, not. It's awful. It is downright like nails on a chalkboard kind of kazoo work. After about 4 minutes or so, like Ponto's like, it's like, okay, I've helped now, right? Like you're good. And Maximus is like, absolutely, I'm okay, and just like ushers him away, and you continue to play. At that point, the dwarf is kind of chuckling because she realizes the old guy and the huge guy were way better than you two, and he says like, you two are a couple of chuckles. He's like, you don't mind if I pull up a chair and kind of join you before you head off? I heard you're with Aaron and Martha. They're good people.
The best people.
Just to have you guys been to Icewind Dale before? You look as green as they come here, like grass 4 days ago from here.
When Yeti yells out, "They're great people," I'll just kind of say, "But don't pee on them."
and the dwarf kind of stares at you, is like, why would I pee on you? Nice to meet you. I'm Hiln. Hiln Trollbane. If you guys are going to Icewind Dale, have you heard of the murders going down there?
No.
Like, I don't know if you've heard of how things work down there, but like each of the towns have speakers, and I've heard of these murders going on, and I've kind of like pinpointed what's going on. It's like, and she's like trying to tell you, trying to forcefully tell you, and you can see she's got scars and cuts, and she's as good as she's moving. She's obviously seen better days, and she is definitely retired from the adventuring lifestyle. She says, like, it's just another gruesome day in the 10 towns, the howling wind, the bitter cold, and the foul tempers, and the snowdrifts that are big enough to bury a herd of moose. But
Meese.
What's a moose?
That's what you call multiple moose. Meese.
Moose do not go in herds.
No, they don't. You're right. I actually know that because I'm from Prince George, and you never see more than one or two.
No, you'll see
together.
3 of them.
Yeah, that's about it.
You'll
see. That back when I was there, like the taverns were buzzing about the series of the killings that were happening. Before, murders were on everybody's minds. We were all worried about whether summer was going to come back, but now the question is like, who's going to die next? Nothing breeds fear or paranoia like the murderer with no face. What I know from poking around, 3 cold-blooded murders have been committed in the past months. A halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower in Bryn Shander. Each victim was found with a dagger of ice through their heart. I don't know what the connection is, but from what I've pilled through the drunken lot of townsfolks and offices, is an elderly shield dwarf with nasty scars across our nose. Might know something, but we're trying to figure it out. If you guys are interested, she would like to tell you a little bit more, but that's dependent on what you guys would like to do now.
On the savannah, when we had someone killed or murdered, we'd take the pride and we'd go find the murder and then we'd eat them.
We don't eat people, man. I told you already we don't eat people.
Smoke.
I wouldn't
smoke, and I was like, I'm with you.
I look
right until eating them.
I look totally confused.
We don't. And Hilton will honestly pull up to Smoke. He's like, actually, it's not unknown for people to eat another person if their circumstances are right. Like if you get caught and you're running out of food, you might draw straws.
Oh, that's fair, I suppose.
Is that like to pick the meat out of your teeth?
That's nature.
Yep, that's totally it.
Oh.
And she like nods her head and just like shakes it and just like looks at like Zoko, because you look like you've been there before. She will let you know that she's looking for a person named Cephik Caltro. She knows that this guy works for a traveling merchant company called Torgs. She knows that it's owned and operated by a shady dwarf named Torga Icewind. In other words, Cephik gets around. He's charming. He makes friends easily. He's also Torga's bodyguard, or so I'm guessing, but he's good with a blade. His victims come from only the 3 towns that I know of that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on nights of the new moon. She explains that kind of, as you guys know, this is kind of the custom of these 3 towns that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on nights of the new moon. When I was a little bit, she found the victims with names, and Cephik was found out that they were cheating, so he killed them. Maybe it was just Cephick's doing, or maybe it was the Frostmaiden. She doesn't know, but she knows that I followed Torg for a 10-day as he moved from town to town. Quite a devious little enterprise, but that's not of my concern. What struck me was how comfortable Cephik Caltro looked in the weather. No scarf, no coat, no gloves. It wasn't like the cold couldn't touch him. It's like the kiss of the Frostmaiden, indeed. I will give you guys 50 gold now and 50 gold later if you can apprehend Cephik Caltro and ascertain his guilt and deal with him preferably without involving the authorities of the 10 towns. When the job is done, I'll give the other half to Aaron and Martha. I know them, they're good people, and you guys can get paid. Do we have a deal?
So Cephik is a member of a mercenary group, is that correct?
Cephik is part of a traveling merchant company called Torgs.
Okay.
And the leader of that guy is by Torga Icewind.
And so that's 50 gold total, or
50 gold
now?
total now and 50 gold when you finish. And Hiln has already talked to Aaron and Martha that like if like she goes out and she accompanies, like they know the deal, like these people are now working, I've given them a job, she kind of knows what to expect.
So if we find this guy's not guilty though,
Trust me, he's guilty as they come. Once you meet him, you'll get it. Just be wary. He's a smooth operator.
Sounds
So
like
the bounty is for
Suffolk.
his head, or to bring him back.
You're to apprehend Suffolk Caltro and ascertain his guilt, and preferably deal with him without alerting the authorities.
Right.
Which, in your mind, Maximus, means maybe kill him so that nobody knows. And
Yeah, mum's the word on whether or not he comes back in one piece.
Correct.
So we're going by your word that he's a bad man, and we could kill the person and find out he's not this bad man.
I mean, I can swear on the Frostmaiden and my shield and my axe that this man is guilty. I'm getting old. I mean, look at that Quincy guy. I don't want to be that guy. I want to go home to my own bed.
Dry pants.
Make dry pants. That's right.
Quincy wet pants.
I don't know about you, but I'm willing to pay. And she pulls out the 50 gold and puts it on the table. I'm willing to pay now. This guy needs to stop. We can't be losing members of each of the 10 towns. There's hardly enough of us to make the food and ends meet to interact. We can't be losing more.
It seems righteous. I'm interested.
And you can see she's kind of like pleading with you because, you know, she hasn't seen much adventurers these days. She kind of like purposely sits in Raven's Rock before everybody descends into the 10 towns. She tells you, like, you know, you can hunt around it, but hopefully you can, wherever you're going, you might find Suffolk and Torg, the merchant company Torg. If you ask around, maybe you can figure it out once you get into the 10 towns. But
I've been waiting for a good hunt. It's been a while. I will.
It's appreciated. Thank you, guys. And you see her just kind of like bow and just like, you know, you see she's appreciative of your honest demeanor, Smoke, and she like pushes the 50 gold and like walks out. She's like, thank you so much. I'm gonna make efforts to with Martha and Aaron, and heads out and just like nods and says thanks. I appreciate it. And she shakes all of your hands before she leaves. And
I'll just hold up the 50 gold. I say, well, who wants this?
Divide it up.
I'll take it.
I hand it to Maximus.
As it goes over to Maximus, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
we're never gonna see that again.
It was a little too high for you.
So we have to find this mercenary group, Torgs.
the merchant group, Torgs.
Merchant group, Torgs. But we find them in Icewind Dale, I believe, right?
Yes, correct. You do. They travel between the towns, kind of like selling their goods and wares.
Can I order a drink while I'm waiting?
Sure. Yeah.
I would like a bowl of goat's milk.
Orem, by the time gets back and goes up to you, Max, and she's like, "Look, like, you guys can keep the 5 gold. Aaron and Martha, they can't stay another night, unfortunately. I appreciate your business. Thank you so much. Like,
What 5 gold? What are you talking about?
Well, I gave 5 gold to Maximus so that, you know, because you guys were playing such great music, you know, I appreciate it. And it kind of brightened the spirits. A few extra patrons ordered a few drinks. Like, you know, I've made it. The business is good and covered, and I appreciate it. And thanks you all for playing, and then walks off.
I still need my drink.
We don't have goat's milk.
He wants a brandy Alexander.
Could I have some lukewarm water?
Yeah, you can have lukewarm water, and you see Orem like walk outside, scoop some snow, put it in a glass, and says, "We don't have bowls," and walks off.
Smoke is trying to stick his tongue in the glass. He's just trying to lap it up. He's having a hard time.
Creepy.
Just see this big tongue in there.
So you see Aaron walk in like 5-10 minutes later, and sees your group. He's like, "Oh, guys, we're ready. Anytime you're ready in the next 5 minutes. Quincy, bathroom break, and then on we go. So we'll see you in 5 minutes."
Perfect.
Heads back out.
I get up and leave.
I'm waiting for Mike to say so.
I will
There's just a door out back to the alley if you want to use the bathroom.
I'm going to wait inside the tavern to get as much heat as possible before I go outside. Before I have to leave.
Okay, she's gonna go out the back door.
Are you going to the bathroom in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. I don't need you to make a pee performance. You
No,
do your business.
P check. No P check.
No pee check.
Don't get to roll that many dice. So.
You could shoot a stone as a weapon. Pass a stone.
Mm.
Ding!
There'd be a constitution check followed that. So you guys finish up your business. Quincy, which way do you come back?
Go back.
You go
the same
around
way
the
I came.
you back through the building. And,
Yeah.
And you'll see Smoke just like sitting as close as he can to the fire, kind of like staring, waiting for like you to come out because you're the last one to come back. And Smoke's just like he's trying to like make sure he's staying as warm as he can. And he sees you enter and he kind of like straightens up and just kind of like stretches his shoulder. It's like, "Oh, we're gonna go now." And he walks out to the caravan, and you meet Martha and Aaron, and you all get back on the caravan. And,
Just to add in there too, from my background, we really revere our elders, so I'm trying to look after Quincy and make sure he's okay. I hold reverence just from his age.
Absolutely. If you remember to do all those things, good for you. We will. As you guys get back to the caravan, you'll head back in, and Aaron will pop back. He's like, "Oh, I heard you talk to Hiln. Yeah, she's been quite an adventurer in her day, but she's really been onto this Torg guy, this group, this merchant, and she's been following Sefik, and I don't know if she's right or wrong, but I know those merchants are shady as shit. So, thanks for helping out. It's appreciated in these hard times.
How do you
let
feel
me know
about
if
her?
Hiln?
Yeah,
Good as gold. We'll help you out in a pinch and not cause you too much grief if needed. If you pay her a few gold, it's easier to, help. But it's pretty good. So
okay, good to know.
we'll be coming into the 10 towns probably in the next 2 days. You guys will probably want to search around. Torg's pretty well known here, the merchant group. If you ask around for a few people, they'll probably know which way he headed. So easy enough. And you're all in the caravan as it's moving forward, as Aaron's telling you all this stuff. And if you want, you guys can have a moment to chat amongst yourselves as you're kind of like, as the caravan's moving. Just for fun.
Hey Maximus, what are you gonna do with all that gold? That 50 gold I gave you.
Well, I'll hold it aside here in party funds so that when the party needs something, we we have some expense.
What party?
The group of us.
We're a
We're all
party?
been commissioned to find this Cephalic guy.
What about the other 5 gold that Quincy and I earned?
Well, that was something I arranged. That was a separate deal. That was. Do any of you know who this Cephalic guy is?
I think we need to ask around.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get a description. We just got a name.
We just know he works for a mercantile group.
Can I just ask the first person I see and just say, "Hey, do you know Cephalic Caltrek?"
We're still in the caravan, are we not?
Oh, did we get in there?
I don't know.
Yes.
No, I don't.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't
The
know who
first
that
person
is.
you
Sorry.
see is Quincy.
Hey, Quincy, have you heard of this Cephalic Caltrek?
Goodness.
Quincy, you're really old. You must know who Cephalic is.
Do you know everybody?
Do we even know what race he is?
You
Oh
know,
yeah, Cephalic. That was back.
He's gonna be the one that isn't wearing any cold weather gear, apparently.
But that's all we know.
I'm not Cephalic.
you know, Cephalic is a human-looking male.
Insight check.
I'm assuming Cephalic is a
To me,
Goliath.
sure, yeah, go ahead.
You
No.
incite the DM.
Yes.
No, to Zoko. He said he's not Cephalic.
Sure, you go ahead and roll that.
So another 2.
Hard up to get rid of all those 2s and roll some dice.
He's definitely Zephic.
Yeah.
So you guys are traveling. You continue to have the conversation about Cephalic Caltro and the Torg merchant group, with the leader being Torga Icewind. You guys know that, like, when you come to the 10 towns, you're going to need to ask around. And why doesn't Mike give us a D10 roll and Gord as well?
A D10.
Oh no.
Yeah, please.
Don't fuck us.
No, that'll come later, Ray. It's all good. Perfect.
When do you get Gord?
3.
Eek.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yep, that's fine.
Total of 5?
Nope, the rolls mean different things. Thank you.
Okay.
So you guys are like heading into, like, you know that in the next 2 days you'll be arriving in Icewind Dale, and we're gonna cut it off there because we will find out which town you guys show up in, which town is next that maybe you need to go to. So leave it there.
Cool.
I gotta write down rolls.
So they both rolled 3 then.
Nope, one rolled 2, one rolled 3.
No, they both
Going
rolled
to
3.
town
That
2
way it's the
minus
town we're
3.
heading to and the town we need to go to are the same town.
No, that's not the way it works.
Oh, damn.
Good luck.
No, that's not the way it works.
Nope. So,
Cool.
thanks everyone.
And every time I get back into the carriage now, I open the door, but I'm standing to the side.
But are you saying that
We've had one session and we've created probable weirdness between your group already.
Yeah, Gord, would your character really be intelligent enough to learn from his mistakes?
Oh, he's an intelligent guy. He's just
Is he?
his customs and his, well, no, he's not
Yeah.
intelligent. But
Yeah, he probably doesn't learn from his mistakes.
What is
Well,
At least not the first time.
he's got great instincts, so
what's your intelligence?
-1.
So's mine.
Me too.
Oh, we got a bunch of
Oh
geniuses.
man!
Oh, that's even better.
So who's the smartest guy in our group then?
Ponto.
Ponto would be smart, right?
Probably.
Alright.
Probably Ponto.
Maximus is only street smart.
What's Maximus's intelligence?
You don't know.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you're also -1.
So guess what Quincy's strength is?
-4.
Probably strength.
3,
It's 6.
6. Ouch.
No, -2.
Did you choose to lower it that much, or did
No,
you
I
actually lower
rolled
it?
shit.
Oh man, that's
Well, there was a pendulum swing.
Yeah, I did roll 118, so.
Oh, nice.
Oof.
But yeah, I rolled shit for most of it. But I thought, I'm an old man, feeble old man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. So we will pick up in 2 weeks, and we will figure out where you guys are going, and potentially maybe where you need to go to find Cephik and the merchant group Torg.
Cool. That's,
Not as in like Torg's gun, Spencer from Borderlands. It's not that.
It's how I wrote it down. It is.
I know
not
that's
canon.
how you wrote it down, because that's how I wrote it down the first time. It's not that.
So I am going to find Mr. Torg.
give me your gun.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks, Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Art.
Went,
That's really
went good so far too.
So far, so good.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for listening to Perilous Pursuits. Be sure to check out our website at perilouspursuits.com for new episodes, news, and other information. In the meantime, go give your Craig cat a walk, give your owlbear a big hug, and go play some D&D.